In a world teeming with unspeakable horrors, where shadows writhe with a life of their own and the very air crackles with ancient malevolence, one man walks the line between humanity and monstrosity. This is the world of the Witcher, a realm where fear has 1,000 faces and Geralt of Rivia is its reluctant arbiter. We often see him as a killer, a slayer of beasts for coin. But the truth is far more complex, a tapestry woven with threads of mercy, philosophy, and a profound understanding of what it truly means to be a monster. Let's descend into the abyss of Geralt's moral code, a place far darker and more intricate than the lairs of the beasts he hunts. His code isn't a simple list of rules carved in stone. It's a living, breathing philosophy, shaped by a lifetime of facing down terrors that would shatter a lesser mind. The core of it? A stark distinction between a monster by nature and a monster by choice. It's not about what you are, but what you do. This is the razor's edge upon which Geralt balances, a tightrope walk over a chasm of existential dread. Take dragons, for instance. To the common folk, they are symbols of cataclysmic destruction, fiery tyrants from a forgotten age. But to Geralt, they are something more. They are magnificent, sentient beings, remnants of a world that existed long before humans drew their first breath. In his eyes, hunting a dragon is not pest control. It's murder. It's an act of ecological vandalism. He sees them not as winged beasts of avarice, but as intelligent creatures possessing their own ancient wisdom and a right to exist. The gold they hoard is a mere footnote to their existence, not its definition. Geralt's refusal to hunt dragons, even for a king's ransom, isn't just a quirk. It's a profound statement about respecting life in all its forms, especially those forms that we cannot or will not understand. Then we have the higher vampires. These are not your garden-variety, coffin-dwelling fiends. They are beings of immense power, intelligence, and a chilling, almost human-like capacity for love and loyalty. They walk among us, unseen, their true nature hidden behind a mask of civility. Geralt understands that a higher vampire, like his friend Regis, can choose a path of coexistence, a path of restraint. They can resist their predatory instincts, feeding on animals or donated blood, living lives of quiet contemplation. To kill such a being would be a profound injustice, a betrayal of the very principle he lives by. It's only when a higher vampire succumbs to its darkest impulses, becoming a true monster through its actions, that Geralt will unsheathe his silver sword. He judges the deed, not the species. Succubi and incubi present another layer to this moral labyrinth. They are beings born of desire, feeding on the life force exchanged during intimate acts. The church and common superstition paint them as soul-stealing demons, creatures of pure corruption. But Geralt sees the nuance. He recognizes that for many of them, the act is symbiotic, not predatory. They don't seek to harm, only to survive. They can be gentle, even loving, offering pleasure and companionship in a world that offers them only fear and hatred. Geralt often finds himself in the position of a mediator, explaining to a terrified populace that the creature in their midst is not a harbinger of doom, but simply a different form of life trying to get by. He spares them because they are not malicious. Their nature is carnal, yes, but not inherently evil. Perhaps the most unsettling creatures Geralt spares are the Dopplers, the shapeshifters. Imagine a being that can steal your face, your voice, your memories. The existential terror they represent is palpable. They are the ultimate imposters, capable of sowing chaos and paranoia on an unprecedented scale. Yet Geralt consistently refuses to harm them. Why? Because Dopplers, by their very nature, are non-violent. They are mimics, not murderers. They transform to adapt, to hide, to survive in a world that would exterminate them if their true nature were known. The Doppler Dudu, for example, uses his abilities not for nefarious plots, but to find a place for himself, to experience life. Geralt recognizes that the fear of Dopplers is a fear of the unknown, a fear of the self being erased. But he judges them on their actions, and their actions are almost always benign. Finally, we come to the most tragic figures in this grotesque gallery, the cursed. Strigas, werewolves, botchlings. These are not born monsters. They are made. They are humans twisted by dark magic, their bodies and minds warped into something unrecognizable. They are victims, trapped within a nightmare of their own flesh. A Striga is often a princess, the victim of a jealous curse. A werewolf is a man who loses control, often under the full moon. A botchling is the soul of an unloved, abandoned infant, Geralt sees the person beneath the monster. His first instinct is not to kill, but to cure. He delves into forgotten lore, performs dangerous rituals, and risks his own life to break the spell. Killing a cursed one is always the last resort, a mercy killing when the human soul is truly lost forever. For Geralt, lifting a curse is the ultimate expression of his code, to save, not just to slay. In the end, Geralt's journey is a lonely one. He navigates a cosmos where the lines between good and evil are blurred, where the most terrifying monsters often wear human faces. His moral code is a flickering candle in an infinite starless night, a fragile testament to the idea that compassion and understanding are the only true weapons against the encroaching darkness. He shows us that the real monsters are not the creatures that crawl in the night, but the prejudice, fear, and hatred that fester in the human heart. And in a world that sees him as a monster, Geralt of Rivia might just be the most human of us all. Thank you for watching. If you found yourself contemplating the nature of monstrosity, consider subscribing for more deep dives into the lore of our favorite worlds.